Uh, Hello guys, good day. This is Gana for those of you just coming across this. Yeah, it's a new week. Today this is 12 a.m. on 15th September 2025. Yeah, so the market just opened and uh, I want us to analyze the market together. This is something I'll be doing more often, sharing my trade ideas. I've already started, but I want to do it in a more visual format. We analyze the market together. I record it. You guys see my thought process towards how I see the market. Right, just sharing my ideas, and with the hope that someone will come across this video someday, and it will be of help to them. Maybe they try to understand how to analyze the charts using just basic support and resistance, right? Which is basically what I do. Just support and resistance, as simple as it is, but it's just unique to me. I call it the GGS, that's my entry model. But as you guys come along with me, you guys will understand. I'm not anybody's mentor here. I'm just a young guy who is here to just share a little bit from what he knows based on experience and what I got going on right now. Right. So yeah, I'm gonna do a whole separate video talking about why I'm doing this all of a sudden. I've known how to trade for a very long time, but I've decided to be more serious with it going forward because I've seen some of the trade ideas I take for granted. I just share. It helps people make a whole lot of money. So what we did, we have a community. My younger brother managing double GFX, right? So in this community, we together with other fellow traders who are coming up, who are in the space where we share ideas. Basically just enjoy the whole thing together during the week, share ideas together, take wins together, take losses. We call them the believers gang. The believers gang. The believers gang, yeah. So the believers gang have been eating from ideas we share, you know. So you can check it out. I will share the link below so you could check out our community. That's where we do send signals straight idea. That's for those who don't have time to analyze the chart and all that. I will do the heavy lifting for you. If you find value in that and you believe in us, based on our track record, which is already on the Telegram channel, where you go to see trades we've been taking for weeks, for months, even profits, everything, track record there. You could check it out for yourself. I'll be dropping the link to the Telegram community. You see everything there. Yeah, so that's that about that. Let's head on right onto the chat and see what we got for this week. So we're gonna be looking at some pairs starting with my favorite gold. Then we're gonna drill down to look at other USD pairs. So I started this a new chart. As you can see, I got nothing on it. But before now, the one I use personally, look at it. So I publish my trade ideas here. So this is my page. Yeah, this is my original workspace. Right, I just started this new one on this profile in a clean workbook so that I'll go analyze it from scratch together. So you can see how my chart looks like originally. Let me show you guys a bit of my rough workbook. Hold on. So my favorite pair is gold actually. Currency pairs right now, I don't know, easy for my liking. I trade a whole lot of things, but for commodities, my favorite pair is gold. Currency pair GBP USD, GBP JPY, basically pound euro USD, right? And for indices, I trade the derivative market to synthetic indices, right? So it's been a while though. Of recent months, I've just been focused on gold. So see my workbook, how it works, right? So we've been catching gold like back to back. I had to even delete some of my history. If you go way back to some last week, like you could see we've been catching gold buys till the all-time highs, right? So just simple break and retest, but it's just might not be the way that you know it. So let me take you guys straight up how we do. I use whole lot of psychological levels, and psychological levels maybe you coming across with which our psychological levels. Psychological levels are the numbers here you see, right? So I work with them a whole lot, and that I think, in my opinion, is the easiest way to identify support and resistance, right? Because those thin lines at those prices. So what would I do on a typical day? Give a new chart. We want to go over this. The market just opened for the new week on the 15th of September 2025, like I said, right? So this is a new chart. How do I start working on this? Like, even though you don't know anything about the market, so this is where I'm taking it from how I would analyze the market. So I'll start from daily, and as you can see, where we are right now in gold is a historic point because we are at an all-time high. This is the first time gold price is getting here, but before now, which was some months back, the all-time high is 3,500, which was this price. But ever since price broke this all-time high, it's just been moving. Like there's no other point of reference behind. Like this is the first time it's reaching. So trading in this time kind of period for assets like this, how do you identify support and resistance where there are no point of references? Unlike these points where prices were before, where at least you have a high here, you shall know that this place is a resistance. You could easily draw a line, you know, and you are able to mark up the zones where if you come down, like you can easily visually identify support and resistance because they are previous data of what has happened before. But unlike now where we don't have any reference. So what do you do in those kind of points? You there are trying to identify support and resistance, right? So that's one of the values you're gonna be taking away you watching this video. Simple. So I've just given you a shortcut how you can do that. So let's head on to where we are with price. I use psychological levels a lot. So we'll just start with that. So right now where price is right now, when I put my mark there, the easiest point I'm seeing of psychological level there. So I'm gonna make this line thin. I'm gonna make it very tiny because they're gonna be much. So I'll go to the coordinates. The easiest psychological level I'm seeing at that point is 3,700. It's price, right? So that's the first psychological level I'm seeing around there. The next one come down, like by the way, psychological levels, yeah, 3,000, 1,000, 500, 250. So it now depends on you how you break them down. So as you can see, I'm on my daily time frame. This is where I'm doing my analysis, right? And then once I'm able to get this, then I drill down my time frame to 4 hours, see what's happening. I drill down to 15 minutes, I drill down to 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 15 minutes is where I get my entries, especially when I'm waiting for confirmation, right? So that's how I do it. So let's head on. The next psychological level below 3,700. What's it gonna be? Obviously, if I'm to go over the next one off on the top of my head is 3,600. Right. So that's how I do. This is 100 pips difference, right? 100 points difference, 100, right? So I could go further to break it down, which we will, but I start with identifying the major ones. The next one will be 3,500 psychological level, right? 3,500 will be the next psychological level I have, which is where we have our for previous all-time high, right? Our previous all-time high was 3,500, as you can see. And just look at what's happening around this psychological level. You see, I'll take you to see how relevant this is, and you could easily identify the support and resistance without stress. So the next one is going to be 3,400, which I don't have business with, but I'm just doing it so you guys can see. So that's how you do it 100 point different. But our business here right now, where we have business, is where price is right now. So what do I do? You see that this 100 pips difference we're getting on a daily. When I go to 4 hour time frame, you see that there's a whole lot of massive space between where this last psychological level is and here. And me, that I'm trying to get a point. I'm trying to see how best I will trim everything down. So what do I do? Uh, Next, I just use this in between 3,600 and 5. I split it into two, which I would have 3,650. 3,650. If I add another 50, I have 3,700. So that's gonna be my next mini cycle level. 3,650. Yeah, that's the half of 3,700. This is where we have business because this is where the price is right now. This is where we're trying to make our entries. I even go as far ahead as splitting it into this 50 into factor of 25, so that I have 1 year. I split it into a factor of 25, so it's tiny. Because why do I do that? All of this I will do it down from this 4 hour. I'll go to 15 minutes. So even at this half, let's go down to 1 hour. You see how wider it becomes as we drill down. That's why it's important. You gotta like split it into bits and bits. So you're seeing that 100 pips from 3 days to days. We are seeing the distance, how it was small on the daily, where now is like getting wider, and that's why we gotta split. So for my 1 hour, it's only right if I wanna split this. I split the 50, which I get 3,625 psych, maybe psychological level 3,625. So that's how I drill down. I don't know, there's no standard. For me, I drill in factors of 25 50s, 25 50s, 100s. I even go sometimes up to splitting that 25 into two, which gives me 2.5. I can split that 12.5. 12.5 gives me 25. I can split that 12.5 to 2, which gives me about 6.025 or thereabout, depending on how tight I want to have my entry, right? But understand that the major ones are the ones are like 100, 50, 25. But the lower you go, it's still valid, but it wouldn't hold water like that, right? So 3,625. I didn't put the number well. 3,625. So 3,625. Uh, yeah, you see it. So you could see at this 3,625 level, look at the reactions we are having automatically. Support, this is support, this is support already. Just using psychological levels, right? So when I want to split this guy, if I add 3,600, if I have 25, 25, if I add 25 here, I'm gonna get 3,775 next, right? 375 next. And guess what? Look at what happened at this same price, 375. You could see the reactions. So this is the hidden gem I'm giving you. Even you don't know how to trade, once you come across this analysis, like if you just going full up, giving you shortcuts of many years of value of knowledge I've distilled. Yeah, this is a new chart. I don't know where I'm seeing this. I don't use this guy. This follow no scale. I don't like scale. Uh, what do we call it? How do I remove it? Visual order. Uh, let's forget about it. That's this guy. I don't use it for anything, so don't let it distract me. Right. So what do we do from here? Uh, we are just marking our cycle levels, which is one of the first practice once I come to a new chart. Right. So the market just opened. If we go to the daily, we could see yeah, 20 hours. Right. So for the next candle, what am I gonna do at this point? Uh, what am I gonna do at this point? Like we all know the period we are right now, gold is just been bullish. It's at an all-time high, and some of the factors causing this a whole lot. We have the weakening USD, the USD week. Like this week, we're having the Fed rate news, which is going to be a major determining factor for the positioning of USD for the remaining parts of this year, right? The Fed rate cuts. And when that happens, which from all indications looking like the US are gonna cut their rate cuts, it's gonna have an impact on USD and make it weaker. What does that mean for gold? Gold is a safe haven asset where when there are uncertainties in the market, investors tend to run to gold as a safe haven asset, and because of this, has been some of the factors pushing gold high since we broke our last all-time high. So these are some of the fundamental reasons uh, why gold is acting the way it's acting right now. Because the market movement is abnormal. Market is supposed to move higher, low, but it's just been aggressively bullish, right? So it just ranges for a bit like it's doing right now, then it continues up. That has been the pattern that gold has been on and up until now. We are in an uptrend. We are in strong bullish momentum. So I'm gonna cut this video continue a little bit because yeah, so that we know what to do next and we have our prediction for gold. So I hope you guys are getting value from this. And so I'm still bullish on gold though because I'm just seeing a whole lot, right? So I'm expecting gold to I'll be looking out for reactions at this level. This last block we created at this level, I'll be looking for reactions first on this level. It has even started at the next price point. I'll be looking for reaction is this guy. So either of these two, I want to see what happens. See, starting this week first up. So right now, price is already there. So since I'm already bullish on gold as of last year, like yeah. So the other time, my battery went off. I did a recording, but turns out I didn't get to save it. So continue from where we stopped. Look at where we marked around 1 a.m. where we said we were expecting price to come around and we're going to look for reactions to that. Remember, uh, price was around this zone. Let me use this. this zone around 1 a.m. And that's the, the previous video you're watching. This is just a continuation from that. Now, let's drill down to see what happened there. And you can see price went as we saw it, smooth and easy. Let's drill down to 1 hour. Yeah, so you see what happened around that zone here where we marked out. I said either here or here is where I'd be looking out for. It didn't, it didn't reach 3625, but it almost did. Yeah, this was when it showed itself. And same thing, another thing I would want you to look out for from where I called out this trade to the community, to our community. Look at it. Let me go there. Well, on this trade, you should be hitting TP by now. For those believers that hopped on it, let's go. Yeah, so look at it. We call out this trade. Yeah, let me go to my trading view. You see, even on the WhatsApp community too, I called it out. So look at how it's trading out right now. Let's go to where I called it out and this guy. Yeah, so let's go to my rough workbook. Yeah, so I'm even hitting TP right now. Almost. See it. See where we called it. But I wasn't so confident on the trade, let me not lie. I just went with it, but yeah, even giving us a weekend around that one. So yeah. So these reactions around, I think we got in around here. When we saw this guy, when we saw this engulfing candle, this guy. Let me show you guys why. Yeah, I hope you see him. So while we enter, I think I called out this trade around when it was around here. Let's go to 15 minutes. So same thing about that cycle level I was telling you guys, right? So right now 25.50, right? So at some point price was, this was in the morning. We stopped around here, but while we slept, I went and sleep. Price came around this level. I started the momentum, came back to retest that level. I think I was active at around this level. So I saw this engulfing candle. This one. This guy. Yeah. At around this level. This guy was what made me pull the trigger. Another thing that made me is when you do the half of this guy, just like we did earlier on from this cycle level to this cycle level, just split it into half, 25 pips. I will just put the half of it at around that level. You'll see half of 25.50, and we are seeing this reaction here. That was what gave me the signal to buy, and I numbed it here. This guy, after seeing this guy, he took the shot here. Then we are aiming at least to this level, and we put our stop loss here. This is where the stop loss was. So 1, 2, yeah, let me check and confirm. Our stop loss was 3631.93. Though I was still expecting price to come around this level, to be honest. before I loaded up more, but it turned out it didn't. And it's not in Ghana. My major entries were these guys. I wasn't too confident on this guy, but look out, it turned out very nicely. 3,631.93, 3,631.90. Our stop loss were around here. Our TP around 3,665.71. Almost hit 3,661, 3,655, 3,655. Yeah, but about here. So that's it. Easy does it, right? So this is just one good example of how simple it is. Just support and resistance, right? And this guy is going to continue to. So what do we do here? This guy has created a level. Instead of buying at this level, I'll wait for price to go. Let me do for those that wanna hop on the buy. If you didn't get to buy, if I was to just seeing this, I'll allow for price to go to wherever it's going, then come back and test this level and show me a sign here. Then I buy again. But right now, it's like this. If you were to buy, so those that got here, me, I was hoping to get entry around here. I was greedy. I wanted to get very good price, like buy low, sell high. You understand? So you buy as low as you can, sell high. Once you are able to identify the trend of the market, you see, that's how you do it easily.